I have disability with my legs, so it's a lot easier, and I have a really good carrying voice. So if you have any difficulty hearing me, let me know. I can still turn it up a little more. I wanted to thank you for your time today, Mr. Evans and Ms. Hemker, for answering some questions for me on the phone today. You helped me to find some resources that I was looking for, and I really appreciate that. I wanted to let you know that one of the reasons I showed up here today is because I heard of your deaf jab going on tomorrow. I feel like that is taking something very serious and turning it into a fun teenage thing somehow, and I think that the kids deserve a lot better than that. So I wanted to come here and voice my opinion and let you know what I think of all that's going on about this. One of the first things I noticed when I went to your website, and again, thank you for pointing me there, was that you have a HIPAA violation right on the front. Please load up your proof of vaccination or test results within the last 7 days. All incoming individuals coming into the main campus must complete the COVID-19 screener prior to visiting campus. This is against the Constitution of the United States and our freedoms. Number one thing on your website. Number two, I see your upcoming vaccination clinics. You have the health department coming to the campus, treating it like a medical facility after breaking the HIPAA, of course, and then you're using it for medical procedures. No idea of the long-term effects of the shots that you're allowing the medical department to give here. And it's a fact that many have died as a result of the shots, but I don't see that anywhere on your website that you're letting the kids know about that. I also see that you have testing dates and additional testing sites, and it's all being done in the building where I sit. This is not a medical facility. This is not a place where people take their medical things and do, but you have turned this college into one in the name of a governor's mandate that is not law. I will refer you to the Constitution again of the United States of America. Mandates and governor's orders, executive orders, are not law. They're just something they want you to do, and if you're willing to go along with it, they'll let you. But it's not something you can't stand up against. So I went to the CARES Act disclosures that you told me to go to, and I want to commend you. You did spend a lot of that money exactly where it was supposed to go. But I couldn't let go of the fact that somehow this college must be getting some money to do something. And I do remember in our conversation, one of the things I said to you was, well, what would happen if you didn't follow the mandates? And the first thing you said was, well, the government gives us 30% of our money they would deny us our funds, the state would. And then when I said, so you're telling me that you're concerned, you said, no. All of the colleges are in compliance, so I don't know what would happen if we said no. Well, sounds to me like all the colleges joined together and said, hey, let's all stick together and let's do it this way. Then if nobody breaks ranks, we'll all stay up here where we can get the money. And again, I did find the money. It's on the last page, of course. Like I said, you did spend a lot of money. My friend's son got a check in the mail. You are giving $500 to a student that's worth a lot more than that according to this paperwork, but it was nice that you did share some. So another thing that we mentioned when we were speaking was that you signed no agreements whatsoever to receive that funding of your higher education emergency relief funds, that there was no agreements made or anything, except on your website. I'll read from it. Kaskaskia College, Community College District 501, KC, acknowledges that we have signed and returned the certification and agreement for the Emergency Relief Fund Additional Award under the designated parts of the Higher Education Act of 1965 as amended HEA. Therefore, you did sign an agreement, and I asked you to provide that agreement for me so that I could see what you did agree to, but you denied having one, so I wasn't forward that agreement. I also didn't get the governor's mandate you're following. It didn't come in my email either before this meeting. Hoping to receive those things tomorrow. So when I got a little bit further down in here, the detailed list of all projects or activities for which funds were expended or obligated include the below. You paid yourselves $71,836 to replace lost revenue from students in the summer of 2020. And then you gave yourself another $142,453 to utilize the replacement of lost revenue from summer of 2021. That's how come you want those funds. That's how come you didn't deny those funds, because there was a way for you guys to benefit from it. There was a way for you to get money. Now, as far as the mask mandates go, I don't know what's going on with that. The health department coming in here, this also states that the health department's getting a $10,000 salary from you guys to come in here and do this testing and their little COVID routine. It also says that you're following the health department. Again, violating HIPAA, violating the Constitution of the United States, all of these things that are going on leads me to say, you know, what is going on with the money? I found that. Here's the other thing that I don't understand. I hold in my hand right now a letter, August 20th, 2021, from the health department stating that there's warnings, myocarditis and pericarditis from the shots. Syncope, which is fainting, from the shots. I didn't see that written on your website. Moderna, COVID-19, on their website. Risk of myocarditis, which is inflammation of the heart, and pericarditis, inflammation of the tissue around the heart, following vaccination. This is the Moderna website. The Janssen COVID vaccine. Common side effects include a very rare and serious type of blood clot, which isn't as rare as they thought, not according to the news that's going on, who received the vaccine. Where is this written on your website? Why aren't you telling the kids, hey, there's a risk of this? The other thing I noticed was that you're in an ongoing study. That's why you have to follow these little rules, showing that during the study of the period of July and August 2021, the incidence of COVID was higher, blah, blah, blah. So I said to myself, what? Study? What study are we talking about? So I went to the website of the clinicaltrials.gov. And apparently your college is supporting the clinical trials that we're all involved in until 2025. Again, I am referring to documentation from the website of clinicaltrials.gov. According to this clinical trial identifier NC T04368728, clinical trial going on, COVID vaccines. Here's another one, clinical trial NC T04380701. We're in a clinical trials. You are using the children from your college. My son graduated from this college. He got an excellent education. He's very successful today. You guys even offered him a job here. I'm so glad today that he did not take that job, because he would be losing his job right now because he's not a sheeple and he wouldn't have bowed to you. He wouldn't have put a diaper on his face and he wouldn't have let you jab his arm. Therefore, he would have lost his income. He wouldn't have been able to support his family, and you would have put him out on Skid Row for not following an illegal, unconstitutional mandate from a man who doesn't have anything to do with this college except that you invite him. Because right here from the website, voluntary decline of higher education emergency relief funding, HEERF form. You had every opportunity to say, we don't want those funds, or like you said, if you really didn't agree to anything like masking and vaccine and all this stuff, which is experimental gene therapy, right here is the facts of it. It says so in the study. You didn't have to do it, but you chose to. So if you were going to take those funds that have no strings attached, why don't you use them to cover the state funds you would lose whenever you stop masking and vaccinating the people? If there was no strings attached to those funds, that you don't have to mask, you don't have to vax, and all the students could enjoy the freedom you had when you were a child, tell me, why didn't you turn down the funds? Because you're paying yourself. But why did you not pay for the state stuff instead?
You have had plenty of time.
Excuse me, but I asked beforehand, and I was told there's no time limit. There's no time limit, sir.
Yeah, there is.
No, I was told by that
Yes,
man right there,
determine-
there's no time
I
limit.
determine time limits. Now, if you were gonna say something new and different and positive, but you just keep going
I'm
back
speaking
over
truth,
the
sir.
same stuff that you've covered all over this area, and saying that we're taking money,
You are, it's right here on your website, sir.
that's not true.
I can
Okay.
prove it. You want to read your own website? Right here, the
Hold it.
detailed list of all
That's
projects.
it. Your time's up. Anybody else wanna talk on this subject?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Turn it off and turn it back on.